Raise your shield, raise your sword, and join us in this great reaction video. My name is Kit, and today we are going to be reacting to a game series that's close to my heart. In fact, it's the first game I ever truly played. It was on the Game Boy. It was Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening. And today we are reacting to The Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening dunkview by videogamedunkey. So we're going to check this video out. I am a fan of the Legend of Zelda series. Personal favorite stands right now, of course, is Breath of the Wild. I think that's a phenomenal Zelda game in its entirety. But that's a story. That's a conversation for another day because I really love that game. So there you go. All right. But with that being said, we're going to cue up the video. Get ready to react to an awesome video and some awesome content because I'm a fan of Legend of Zelda. So let's get ready to enjoy this video.
Among Zelda games, Link's Awakening is one of the true bizarro oddities. There is no Hyrule, no Triforce, no Master Sword. In fact, there are no puzzles or dungeons either. At least that's how the game was for me when I was 10. I don't think I even made it past the raccoon part. So for me, the gameplay was mowing grass and hitting groblins.
Yeah, okay. So here's the thing. I was stuck in that part. I was stuck for a few days trying to get past that goddamn raccoon. That rat bastard raccoon. Him laughing at us as, we're trying to walk through the mysterious forest and then he sends us all over the place. That damn bastard raccoon. Every time I stare at a raccoon now, I think of that monster, that evil creature. That's right. I'm judging all species. That's right. I could be a specious. I can judge. I could judge and make fun of an animal. There you go.
In the forest. Revisiting this game 20 years later, I understood why I never beat this game. Because some of this shit does not make sense. There is an owl that tells you what to do. There are owl statues that tell you what to do. There are hint houses spread all over the map. And even with all this stuff telling you how to beat the game, you're probably going to get stuck somewhere. And that is the downfall of the old school Zelda formula. You have this vast, expansive map to explore, but often only one very specific way to progress the game.
Yeah.
Just like Metroid, it is easy to miss one subtle cue and spend 30 minutes wandering in circles, accomplishing nothing. People who love these games have played them so many times they can no longer see the unintuitive faults, which is probably why I enjoyed this game the most on the third playthrough. Above all else,
see, I have to say with the Legend of Zelda games, they're at least before Breath of the Wild. The one thing that I found annoying about them, and look, you can love a game, but you can be annoyed by certain aspects of it. Is that I always thought, oh, well, this is a wide world I'm supposed to explore, but I can't climb over trees. I can't climb over rocks. And I understand that video games and their systems had limitations at the time. It's just, it's something that I found annoying, sometimes problematic, but hey, whatever. It's a game. Shut up and enjoy playing your game. Because look, the planet's going to blow up someday. So there we go. But, I was really happy then when it came to a chance to play Breath of the Wild. I know this is Link's Awakening, all right? And I love the story to this, but with Breath of the Wild, the world's your oyster in that game, and you could do whatever the hell you want. And I was like, whoa, I could do whatever I want. It's different than the other Zelda games. And of course, Breath of the Wild has its problems too, to be fair. But it is light years ahead of its ancestors. But I found Link's Awakening interesting because it wasn't connected to like the main storyline. It was set in a different world, and it really didn't have to deal with Ganon. I mean, of course, there were elements of Ganon, in the game, but it was more of Link was stuck in this otherworld realm with this creature that's dreaming up this island. So I found it to be different, and that's why it's close to my heart. I remember facing off against all the dungeons and the monsters and facing off against the puzzles too. So yes, I had a lot of fun with the original game, and then I bought the DX version where it came with this was for the Game Boy Color, where there was like an additional dungeon, and you could choose between a blue tunic for defense or a red tunic for offense. So there you go.
It's the weirdness of this Zelda that makes it so special, and one of the weirdest things about it is how smooth the game plays. You compare Super Mario World to Super Mario Land 2 on the Game Boy. In terms of gameplay, they aren't even close, baby. Super Mario World is way, way more precise and smoother to control, with so many more power-ups and mechanical flourishes. Typically, Super Nintendo games had better graphics and smoother controls than their Game Boy counterparts. However, Link's Awakening plays more like a sequel to A Link to the Past, and that's because it was developed by the same team 2 years later. In Link to the Past, Link is like a fucking pinball. If you get hit, you get bounced.
Oh,
if you hit an enemy, you get bounced. Look at this thing in the middle. Guess what that does? It bounces you.
Oh,
now,
wow.
Combine that with dungeons littered with holes in the ground, spike traps, conveyor belts, and ice-covered floors. Link's Awakening incorporates all of the fun power-ups and twists from the Super Nintendo game into a more polished package, using smart design choices to make Link stronger, more stable, and more agile, all while operating under much heavier hardware constraints. On the Game Boy, this was a technical marvel, but for me, it's the Switch version where it really sings.
That stupid fat walrus. God, I hate that creature. He was like, "Oh, I want to hear her sing." That's what I remember. I remember some certain key plots of the story. And poor Marin, all she wanted to do was leave the island. And if you defeat the game without dying, I think she becomes a seagull or something like that. I think so. Hold on. Don't quote me on it. Look it up on the Wikipedia. All right. Don't trust old Kit Kat.
2D Zeldas have always been more focused and tighter paced than the 3D titles, but the remaster takes the most compact Zelda and squeezes it into a tiny, glossy gem. It makes for a game where every step you take feels like 10, and soaring across the map with your hookshot is pure magic.
That's
Once
right.
You've been indoctrinated by the goofy-ass video game logic of Zelda, this is maybe the most replayable game in the series. But it's not the gameplay that made me fall in love with this game. It's the story. Zelda Link's Awakening. It's a funny title, because first off, Zelda isn't even in this game.
That's right. Zelda's nowhere near it. But there's Marin.
Secondly, you don't even play as Link. You play as a guy called Blanca, and there's Mario characters everywhere, and evil Kirby, and
evil Kirby.
The game takes place inside of a fish's dream.
The windfish, to be more precise.
I'm always telling you guys about how there needs to be more video games where the entire thing takes place inside of a fish's dream. This game not only delivers on that very specific request, this game invented the fishing minigame. The remastered visuals have this plastic sheen suggestive of a child playing with toys. The houses are full of little details that color in the person living there, and even though
the quest for the ghost, and when he wanted to go to his old house, and then there's the witch.
This game has a great soundtrack. It is almost never referenced in subsequent games, further reinforcing its uniqueness.
Oh.
Legendary game director Takashi Tezuka cited Twin Peaks as one of his major inspirations here. The world of Koholint is dreamlike and mysterious, but populated by quaint villages full of oddball characters. And there's an owl. Even stranger, the plot of this game is very similar to David Lynch's later film, Mulholland Drive. Most Zelda games hinge on a battle between good and evil, where your goal is to save the world. But in Link's Awakening, you gradually discover that your goal this time is to destroy the world. If Link doesn't wake up from the dream, he'll drown in the ocean, but if he does, this entire world that you've come to know will cease to exist. What's tragic is how the world makes such a big impact on the player without slamming you with reams of dialogue. Link has a little girlfriend that wants to be a seagull.
Yeah, I know. Poor Marin. And there's Yoshi.
He wins a Yoshi doll for a baby. He trades an alligator a can of dog food for a banana. The mayor of Sim City gets catfished.
Oh, yes, the catfish story. The hippopotamus.
By a goat.
Oh, the goat. Yeah, the goat. Sorry. Oops.
Wart from Super Mario Bros. 2 is holding an underground concert. You crawl into a crypt to resurrect a legendary chicken.
No, it's called the Flying Rooster, my friend. The Flying Rooster is legendary and friend to us all. And I have to say, I was so happy to get the flying rooster, but I was so angry when he was stolen from me. So I figured out a way to keep him just for a little bit longer, right? So what I did was I was able to get like the special bonus equipment, like in each of the different dungeons, to where eventually, because I didn't finish the dungeons, I was just able to get enough so where I could be able to do the additional side quests to get the flying rooster alive. So for all the other quests with me, as I finished up all the dungeons, I was able to keep him, right? However, when you defeat the 7th dungeon, that's when he gets stolen from you. So I decided to subvert the game and outmaneuver it by defeating the 8th dungeon. I still had it with me. Then I go to the 7th dungeon, crossing my fingers that everything would be fine. And no, and that jag-off bastard who has a whole bunch of chickens in his little house up in the mountains, that goddamn thief has my flying rooster. And he's like, whoa, I can't believe it's a flying rooster. He stole my flying rooster. No, I mean, that was my buddy. That was my pal. You know, anyways, I found that to be the coolest element in the game because I loved hanging out with the flying rooster because, you know, you pick him up and he flies you all over the map because he's your pal and he gets stolen from you. Curses upon that chicken person.
Where Twin Peaks was often dark and ominous, Zelda doubles down on jokes and humor, burying its darker elements much deeper beneath the surface. Just like a dream, Link's awakening can be bizarre and illogical. Koholint Island may be the most idyllic place Link has ever been, but sometimes in life, the thing you have to do is the last thing you want to do, like waking up and getting out of bed. And
yeah,
that's why this is my favorite Zelda story.
That was tough to do. I'm going to be honest with you guys. You know, when I was finally able to defeat the game, I felt like a little bit of some melancholy when I won because the island was destroyed. And of course, it's a dream. And so you either your character has to choose, like, you know, obviously you don't have a choice, but you have to wake up. You have to defeat the game. But by defeating the game, you destroy that island. You become the destroyer of that world. And it's I found that game to be the most memorable of the Zelda games. I mean, I know there's a lot of them. Breath of the Wild right now, that's currently the heavyweight champion. Looking forward to the sequel, if and when it ever comes out. Link's Awakening is number 2, and then the third Zelda game that really stood out to me was Oracle of Season and Ages. It was for the Game Boy Color, and you could play the game on 2 different games, and the stories were interconnected, which was great. I thought that was groundbreaking at the time. Maybe someday, not today, Nintendo will actually do a remake of Oracle of Season and Oracle of Ages. Maybe, just maybe, we will see that game redone and mastered again. So here's hoping for that. So yeah, this brought me back down memory lane. One of my favorite games, Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. The Windfish. You have to defeat the 8 dungeons and then get the musical items to wake the Windfish from his sleep so he could take his lazy ass to work. I found it funny, though, that as the Windfish is flying above Link, he just leaves him there in the ocean. Link is still in the ocean. He's going to need water. He's going to need food. He's going to have to get out of the hot sun. I mean, he's still in a dangerous situation. You think the least thing the Windfish could do was, you know, fly on down and be like, hey, look, I'll fly to the nearest landmass and, well, you know, you could carry on with the rest of your adventures, buddy. Who knows? Maybe. Anyways, I hope all of you had fun. I really enjoyed watching this video and remembering a time when I was younger and enjoyed playing video games. And I still enjoy playing video games, but now I have to have adult responsibilities and do things. So there we go. All right, Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening. Shout out again to this video. Awesome. A lot of fun times. Be sure to subscribe to Chicago Reacts. I'm out. Bye-bye.